Hi guys, welcome to my channel, where we use gentle movement sessions to build strength, improve coordination, and increase mobility so that you move better and feel stronger. Today, I'm going to be taking you through a Feldenkrais lesson. So grab a mat, lie down on your back, and let's get started. Today we're doing a lesson called sliding hand and knee. You'll need a pillow or something to rest your head on as we lie on our side to encourage gentle movement through the chest, pelvis and spine to explore the way your core creates counter-rotation and organises better arm and leg movements during walking, running and twisting. Start lying on your back with your legs long and your arms beside you, and notice how your legs feel as they lie here, and your arms feel. Does one leg feel longer than the other? Or does one arm feel longer than the other? Or does one side of your body feel longer than the other? Then bend both of your knees so your feet are flat on the floor and your knees are pointing at the ceiling. And press with your right foot so your right bottom cheek lifts off the floor and you roll to your left hip. Return to the center, then press with your left foot so you roll onto your right hip and your left hip lifts. Then repeat, breathing out to press through your right foot and lift your right hip, and then breathing out to press through your left foot and roll to your right hip. Now, instead of moving left then right, just press with your right foot and roll to your left a few times. Pressing with your right foot and rolling to the left, then returning to the center. Keeping your knees facing the ceiling and noticing how far through your body this movement travels. So what else moves as your pelvis moves? Then stop that and move to the right, lifting your left hip a few times. Can you feel your pelvis move, your lower back move, your mid back, or your upper back? Which parts of your body move as you do this? And now a couple of times just roll side to side again. Notice whether that's gotten any easier. Then roll onto your right side with your knees bent and your feet stacked on top of one another. Place a pillow underneath your head with your right arm straight in front of you. Then lift your left arm overhead and hold your right ear. And breathing out, lift your head using your left arm. And then breathe in to lower your head back down. And notice whether it's just your head, neck and shoulder that moves as you lift your head, or whether you can also feel some movement in your ribs, or your upper back, or your mid back, or your waist and pelvis. Let that go and then switch sides. Lying on your left side with your knees bent and your feet stacked, with your right arm overhead holding your left ear, and again lift your head supported by your right arm and notice, do your ribs move? Does your spine bend? Does anything through the underneath side lengthen? How far through your spine can you feel movement as you lift your head and you lower it back down? Stop that. Remove the pillow and lie down on your back again with your legs long. Bend your knees again, and again do that movement of rolling your hips side to side. And notice whether that's any easier or whether any more of your body moves with your pelvis as you roll it side to side. Once again, lie on your right side with a pillow underneath your head, your right arm out in front of you, your knees bent and your feet stacked on top of one another. Then straighten your left arm as well so your left palm sits on the right palm. Breathe out and slide your left hand forwards along your right hand so the heel of your left hand slides towards your right fingertips. Breathe in to slide your hand back and then repeat. Feeling your shoulder slide forwards, but also feeling your ribs turn so your chest turns slightly to the floor. Breathing in to bring that back. And notice whether you can also feel your spine turning. Just do one more. And how much of your spine can you feel turning as you slide your hand forwards and then backwards? Rest in the center for a moment. And then, the next time you breathe out, slide your left hand backwards so your left fingertips slide towards the heel of your right hand, and then you breathe in to slide your hand forwards again. Again, feel how your ribs turn, this time towards the ceiling, and then towards your hands. And can you feel yourself roll backwards on the underneath ribs, and then forwards to the sides of your ribs? And keeping your knees still, can you feel how much of your spine moves as you do this? Do one more. Is there movement all the way down to your lower back, or only in portions of your upper back? Now let that go. Then breathe out, slide your left hand forwards along the right hand. Breathe in to bring your hands on top of one another again. Breathing out, slide your left hand backwards along the right hand. Breathing in to slide forwards. And just feel how your chest turns as you slide your hand back. And then how it turns to the floor as you slide your hand forwards. Feel the movement of your shoulder blade and your rib cage as your spine twists. And feel the work of your tummy as you slide your hand backwards and the ribs draw back. Then feel how your upper back on this last one slides your hand forwards and then draws backwards to slide it back. Then rest. For this next movement, keep your palms still and your arms straight. Your feet stay stacked on top of one another as though your ankles are tied together with ropes, and you slide your left knee forwards so your pelvis moves forwards. Then you slide your knee back. Breathe out to slide your knee forwards, feeling your pelvis twist towards the floor. Then slide your knee back so that your pelvis is side on again. Feel how much movement is traveling through your spine as you do this. And that tells you which parts of your body are involved in the movement of your knee as you keep your hands still, your arms straight, and your pelvis turns to the floor, your stomach turns to the floor, and maybe your ribs even turn to the floor. Now rest. Then, breathing out, slide your knee backwards so your hip moves backwards. Breathing in, slide it to the center. And again, breathing out, feel your stomach engage to draw your left hip backwards so your knee moves back. Breathing in to move to the center again. And can you feel as your stomach engages that your ribs draw back as well to slide your knee backwards with your pelvis? And your ribs move back between your shoulder blades, and then they move forwards again. Last one. And then rest. Now alternate between sliding your left knee forwards so your pelvis turns forwards, then bringing it to the center, breathing out to slide your left leg backwards, breathing in to slide it to the center. And keep alternating between forwards and backwards motion, and notice that your chest moves forwards and backwards as your pelvis moves forwards and backwards. So in order for your leg to move, activation needs to occur through the ribs, through the stomach, and through your back. Last one. then rest, and then slide your left hand forwards again, and notice whether that's gotten any easier. Slide it backwards, and has turning to the ceiling become easier? Then rest. The next move we do, you slide both the left hand and the left knee forwards so your body rolls, your hips and ribs. You slide your left hand and knee back to the start position, then you slide them backwards, and then to the center. Again, breathing out, turning your ribs and pelvis towards the floor to move your hands and knee, and then turning your ribs and pelvis towards the ceiling to move them backwards. Notice that your knee and your straight arm cannot move of their own accord. Your ribs and pelvis power your limbs as you do this movement. And that power comes through the muscles of your ribs and chest, of your stomach, and through your back. One more, forwards, breathing in to come to the center, and one more, backwards. Breathing in, then rest. The last movement like this is sliding the left hand forwards as the left knee draws slightly backwards. This movement might be a centimeter, it might be an inch, it might be further, but only go to where one can move forwards and the other can move back. Bring them back to the center. Now slide your left hand backwards as your left knee slides forwards, and then return. Notice the shape your torso has to make for your hand to slide forwards and your knee to slide backwards, and vice versa. Feel the diagonal twist that occurs through your front as you slide your hand and knee in opposite directions, and then through your back as you slide your hand and knee in opposite directions. Now you'll feel your shoulder blades sliding over the ribs, your ribs changing their shape, and your stomach engaging to move your pelvis, and your spine moving to move your pelvis the other way. Now rest. Place your left arm overhead and hold your right ear again, just as we did at the beginning of today's session. Breathe out, lift your head with the help of your arm, and feel, is there more movement through your ribs and your torso now? Breathe in to lower it, and again, breathing out. Can you even feel your armpit and your pelvis move towards one another, and then away? The next time you lift your head, also lift your feet at exactly the same time. Then lower your feet as you lower your head. And now you'll feel your pelvis roll towards your armpit as your armpit moves towards your pelvis. And you'll feel your right side lengthen as you shorten your left side. Let go of your right ear now and place your hands in front of you. Then, once again, lift your head and feet, but without holding your head. And can you feel your left shoulder and hip slide towards one another as your right side lengthens? And then lower yourself down. For the last time, lift your head, but leave your feet down this time. Turn to look at the ceiling. Feel your ribs draw backwards and your pelvis move backwards. Then turn to look at your pillow. Feeling your chest turn slightly to the floor and your pelvis turn slightly. And notice that even in this bent position, that as your head turns one way and the other, your whole spine can help the rotation. Let that go and lie down. Then, remove the pillow and lie down on your back. Notice whether your two sides of your body feel more even now, or whether one side is even longer than the other than before. Once again, bend your knees and do that movement of rolling your hips side to side. by pressing through one foot and then the other, keeping your knees facing the ceiling. Can you feel more of your torso going along for the ride now? Any movement in your chest yet? Then, roll to your left side with the pillow underneath your head, your knees bent, your left arm out in front of you, and your right hand resting on top of the left hand, so your arms are straight. And we repeat that sequence on the other side. Breathe out, slide your right hand forwards, so your right palm slides towards your left fingertips. Then breathe in, slide it back. Again, feel how your chest can turn as you slide forwards, then returns as you slide back. Keep your knees still, your feet stacked, and feel how far through your spine you can feel movement as you do this movement on this side. Just one more. Then rest. And then breathing out, slide your right hand backwards so your fingertips slide towards your left palm, and then breathing in, slide to the center. Once again, feel how your stomach engages to help your chest turn. Breathe in to slide forwards. Feel how you roll backwards on the left ribs, then to the side of your left ribs. Just two more. Feel how your shoulder blade moves backwards in space as your arm stays straight, your knees stay still, and your breath out helps to soften the ribs as you turn. Then rest. And then breathing out, slide your right hand forwards. Breathe in to slide it to the center, then breathe out to slide it backwards. Breathing in to return, and continue sliding forwards on the breath out and then backwards on the breath out, breathing in to return to the center each time, feeling how your whole spine through your upper back, your mid back and your lower back is involved in the sliding forwards and in the sliding backwards, and that your ribs and tummy work together with your chest muscles to move yourself forwards and backwards as well. Let that go and rest. Then keep your feet together and slide your right knee forwards on a breath out. Breathe in to slide it to the center, and again breathing out to slide it forwards. Breathing in to slide it back. Notice as your pelvis turns towards the floor to move your knee forwards, there's also some movement through the chest and the upper back around your shoulder blades that are staying still in space. One more. So we're differentiating the shoulder blades from the rib cage at the moment. Then rest. And then breathing out, slide your knee backwards. Breathing in, slide it forwards. And now notice as your tummy engages and you slide your hip backwards to move your knee, that your ribs contract slightly to bring your upper back behind your shoulder blades. Do two more. And can you feel this movement even drawing your head down a little bit towards your chest as you slide your knee back, and then returning it to the start position as you come forwards. Now alternate between moving your right knee forwards and then backwards. Noticing how much movement occurs through your ribs in order for your pelvis to move your knee when your feet are stacked and your arms are still. Can you feel this movement traveling all the way up through your spine? Feel the movement occurring through your rib cage and your stomach as you move your knee forwards and then back, and then rest. And once more, slide your right hand forwards by itself and then backwards to see whether that movement has gotten any easier than before. And then rest. Then roll your body forwards by sliding your right hand and knee forwards, keeping your feet stacked. Then roll back to the center by sliding your hand and knee to the start position. Then roll backwards by sliding your hand and knee backwards. And return. Breathing out to slide forwards. Breathing in to slide back. Breathing out to roll backwards. Breathing in to return. And just notice once again that it's your torso that coordinates the movement of your arm and leg forwards and then backwards. Do this just one more time, rolling forwards. Your whole torso moves together, and then your whole torso moves backwards together. And then rest. From here, breathe out to slide your right hand slightly forwards and your right knee slightly backwards, feeling that twist through your torso, the engagement through your tummy. Then breathing in, coming back to the center, breathing out, sliding your right hand slightly backwards and your right knee slightly forwards. And then just keep doing this slide and slide as your torso twists instead of rolling. And notice that coordinating to move one hand forwards as that corresponding knee moves backwards, and vice versa, is similar to how we walk and run. Let that go and rest. Then, place your right hand overhead and hold your left ear. Once again, go into this move of lifting your head with the help of your right arm and feel, do your ribs bend? Is there movement through your hips? Is there movement through your torso as your head comes down and as it comes up again? Breathe out to lift your head, feeling the left side lengthen as your right side shortens. Deepen that flexion by lifting your feet and your head at the same time, then lowering them both, and then do that again. Last time. Then reach both hands out in front of you. Again, draw your right shoulder and right hip towards one another as you lift your feet and your head, and then lower your feet and head, lengthening through that right side. Just one more. Then leave your feet and lift your head again. Hold it here. Turn to look at the ceiling and notice how your spine twists, your ribs bend, and your pelvis rolls backwards. Look towards your pillow. Feel how your chest turns, your pelvis rolls, and your spine lengthens. And then repeat that, looking towards the ceiling, then the pillow, and then rest. Remove the pillow, lie on your back, with your legs long and your arms long. Notice the two sides of your body now. Do they feel more equal? Bend your knees, so your knees are pointed to the ceiling, and again roll your hips side to side, keeping your knees facing the ceiling. And notice whether that's gotten any easier, and whether there's more of your body moving now. Maybe your chest rolls, your mid-back rolls, and your lower back rolls. Let that go and roll to your side to sit up. Then, come up to standing slowly. Then, walk around your space a little bit. And can you feel that pattern of rotation through your chest and through your pelvis as you step with one foot and the opposite arm swings forwards? See if you can remember that rotational pattern the next time you run or even on your next walk. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you had a great session. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.